What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I watch Cameron and Mace's It Is What It Is podcast quite often. And I'm left puzzled, right? Because OJ Simpson is a frequent guest on the show. And I'm thinking to myself, have Cameron and Mace made it acceptable for black folks to really rock with OJ Simpson now? Have they made it cool to rock with OJ Simpson for real? OJ be on there cracking jokes, laughing, giggling, and it be like, damn. At one point, majority of the black community recognized OJ Simpson as a sellout, and it was what it was. But now, since he on there cracking jokes with Cameron and Mase, two popular rap figures, very popular in black culture, hip hop culture, black culture, and hip hop culture the same. Well, I'm gonna say this: hip hop was created by black folks, so I'm not gonna say it's all the same, but it has similarities within it, right? But yeah, OJ is being embraced and people laughing at OJ and sharing him up, and I'm like, damn. I remember when it was widely known, especially before OJ got out of jail, everybody called OJ a sellout and looked at him as like a person who wanted to separate himself from black folks and be above black people. And now everybody laughing and retweeting all the stuff that OJ says on the show. And again, I wasn't living in real time. I wasn't living when all this stuff happened with OJ. You know what I mean? I really wasn't. So I'm only 31 years old. And fun fact, I played OJ Simpson in a play at Mississippi Valley State University. My boy Melvin was Al Cowlings, who was in a car with him, the white Bronco. And the play that we were in was based upon the conversation between Al Cowlings and OJ Simpson in the white Bronco, right? And we had a whole lot of dialogue. I have it on this channel, actually. I have to go back deep into the channel to find out. I got so many videos up. But I'm like, yo, and OJ has rebranded himself as, of the black fray, of the black community now. But a lot of people are saying that rebrand started to happen. He started to rebrand himself as this black man again once he got into trouble with the law. And, having Johnny Cochran as his attorney and, having black friends again, he started that rebrand process during the time he got in trouble because he saw how, hey, you can get locked up and sent to jail just like any other black man in America. And some people were saying that that's when the rebrand started. But my thing is, even when he rebranded himself during that time, it was a general consensus amongst black folks, hey, we ain't falling for that okie doke. He pulling the okie doke over on us. He pulling the wool over our eyes in order to get off, right? But now it's like, maybe because these are younger people, and I'm probably answering my own question. The people that watch Cameron and Mace's show are of my age and younger for the most part. And there's older people that watch that show too. I'm not gonna act like older people don't watch the show. But I'm looking like, yo, OJ being celebrated now. When it wasn't cool to like OJ for a while. And I'm not saying that all black people think the same and we all monolithic, but a lot of black folks was always off OJ. You had Jay-Z rapping about how OJ say, I'm not black, I'm OJ. And that's how OJ carried himself for a while when he was the juice. And he was on top of the world, and he was a 2,000 yard rusher, and he was in the Hertz commercials, jumping over suitcases in the airport and all that type of stuff. Like, he was carrying himself like he wasn't a black man. He was something different. And everybody was knowledgeable of that. They peeped, the play that he was doing and how he was, trying to act like rebrand himself as black when he got in trouble to gain good favor within the black community and all of that, right? We saw that and we're like, nah, bro, you got to go on with that. You got to go somewhere else with that. Now it's like, people are now like, oh, what's up, OJ? OJ a funny guy. You know that OJ, man? That OJ's a charming dude. OJ always seemed to be a charming person. He just had craziness about him, but he was charming enough to get into certain doors and get into these commercials and movies and all that type of stuff, right? That's what made people endearing to him. That's why he was endearing to a lot of people, because of the charm. But now it's like black folks have forgotten about, how he was trying to distance himself from us and how he was trying to be separate and thought he was something different and thought he was something above black folks. Now we just like, oh, it's all good. It's OJ. What's up, OJ? What's up, OJ? Bro, I promise you, in a minute, we gonna start seeing people like really asking OJ to get a podcast of his own. And black folks gonna be tuned in and sharing and retweeting it. So I'm asking, like, am I tripping? Or is OJ successfully rebranding himself as black and people are accepting of it? You know what I mean? Because, listen, Cameron and Mase, they've made it cool to like OJ again. And again, I engage in my own think process, but a lot of people, a lot of people engage in groupthink, right? And so people can say, well, y'all engage in groupthink when y'all hated OJ, but no, black folks in general don't like when you try to separate yourself from us. That's not some shit that we just think is okay and cool. When Tiger Woods came out and tried to say he wasn't black, he was cannibal Asian, something like that. Hannibal, whatever he said, Caliblasian. I said cannibal Asian, Caliblasian, or some word he made up. Black folks wasn't feeling that. When black folks see you trying to act like, RG3 was always, I'm not a black man, I'm not a black quarterback, I'm just a quarterback. I wish he was a quarterback, but we always felt that RG3 was trying to disassociate himself from his blackness for a while until he became a commentator on ESPN. Now he's leaning more into his blackness. Of course he loves talking about his wife. I mean, that's that man's wife. She's a white woman. That's his wife, whatever, right? But he's more, I feel like since RG3 has been on ESPN and being a commentator now, he's leaning more into black culture more than he did when he was a player. You know what I mean? And maybe he realized what that could do for his brand as well. I don't know. Or maybe he's become awakened to certain things. I don't know. Positive thinking and wishful thinking. Because I was like, yeah, RG3 I felt like he was trying to separate himself from black culture in a lot of ways. He had braids in his head, but that didn't mean nothing to me. His whole ilk was just, it felt like that. But anyway, and I'm not saying that if you speak proper and you have a white wife, you're not black. Black people are monolithic. We come in all shapes, sizes, all different. We come in different flavors, right? But we just do not like black folks who try to separate themselves from our community or act like they're above the fray. You know what I mean? And so a lot of black folks peep OJ doing that. And even when he tried to rebrand himself, we weren't accepting of it because we realized what he was doing. But now it's like, hey, it's okay, OJ. We love you again, man. We love you. And I'm like, damn. And y'all can talk to me on this, y'all. Was OJ's rebranding accepted amongst black folks during that time? Because it was black folks. This is the thing. It was black folks who were celebrating not that OJ got off, but a black man finally received some justice when the justice system was not in our favor. But from my understanding, people weren't exactly rooting for OJ himself, but for him as a figure, him as a black man, even though a lot of people realized he was trying to distance himself from being black, and then he rebranded during the trial. Black folks were happy for that win of a black man being successful in the court of law and being successful in proving his freedom, or proving his innocence in the court of law, right? There's a lot of people who don't think OJ did it at all. There's a lot of people who do, but recently I've heard people saying, hey, they don't think he did it. There's some people that think that OJ's son might have did that, or somebody else may have done that, allegedly. It's all alleged, right? But yeah, man, like, even when people were happy that he got off, they weren't. My view of it was that black folks were not happy that OJ got off, but that this black man was able to prove his innocence in the court of law, and the court system bought it, and they gave him the innocent verdict, a not guilty verdict. So, and black folks celebrated that as a win for black folks, not for OJ Simpson. So I'm wondering, like, when he was rebranding himself during the trial, what were black people accepting of that? Did they say, "Oh man, oh, all right, OJ, we got you now, we got you"? Because from my understanding, black folks still weren't fucking with him, but we were like, not we. I'm saying black folks. We, when I say black folks, when I say we, I'm talking about black folks because I was, hey, I wasn't around, but yeah, my thought process of it is that black folks was like, we don't rock with you, but we like that you got off and a black man helped to get you the not guilty verdict. But they still was looking at OJ as a sellout. And nobody was just like forgiving about that. And it wasn't, because when OJ got out, people were still talking about like, no, we know what he is. We know what he was doing and how he was trying to separate himself from us. So, hey, we ain't going to be rocking with him. But now Cameron and Mase got him on there, and the switch has flipped. The script has flipped. Now it's like, oh, we love you, OJ. And he getting love from black folks in the black community now. And I'm like, it's really due to Cameron and Mase embracing him and bringing him on a platform that's growing and that's getting a lot of attention and it get a lot of clicks and views. And it's steadily growing. So the It Is What It Is podcast has helped OJ to rebrand himself as acceptable amongst black